Welcome to, and this is so exciting, the second performance of Globe Open Stage's very first live production. It's the coolest thing ever. I'm so glad I get to say that. We're going to have fun today. It's a beautiful day for it. Hay Fever is a fantastic show for this kind of weather, and I think we're going to have a great time. Just so you know, there is going to be a 15-minute intermission in the middle of the show. I'm going to stand up and announce it because we're a little bit low-tech out here. There is a bathroom in the back, so if you need it, go ahead straight back in that way to the building. We do ask that you wear masks inside if at all possible, just to protect our actors and to protect each other. Flash photography is fine, but it's bright out, so I don't know why you do that. Don't drink, don't smoke. It's 2 o'clock on a Sunday. What are you doing? That's really all I got for you. Have a fantastic show, guys. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Listen to this, Simon. Love's a trollop, stained with wine, clawing at the breasts of adolescence, nuzzling, tearing, shrieking, beating. God, why were we fashioned so?
The poor girl's potty.
Oh, I wish she hadn't sent me the beastly book. I must say something nice about it.
The binding's very dashing.
She used to be such fun before she married that gloomy little man.
Oh, she was always a fierce bazooz. It's always so silly for people trying to cultivate the artistic temperament. Enfin, she's just a normal, bouncing English woman.
You didn't shave this morning.
I know I didn't. I'm going to when I finish this.
I sometimes wish we were more normal and bouncing, Simon.
Why?
Well, I should like to be a open, fresh-aired girl with a passion for games.
Thank God you're not.
Oh, it would be so soothing.
Not in this house.
Where's Mother?
In the garden. Practicing.
Practicing?
She's learning the names of the flowers by heart.
What's she up to?
I don't know. Oh, damn, that's crooked.
I always distrust her when she becomes the squire's lady.
So do I.
She's been hard at it all day. She tapped the barometer this morning.
She probably has plans about impressing somebody.
I wonder who.
Oh, some dreary, infatuated young man will appear soon, I expect.
Not today. You don't think she's asked anyone down today, do you?
I don't know. Has Father noticed anything?
No, he's too immersed in work.
Ask Clara, maybe she'll know.
Yell for her. You know.
Clara! Clara!
I do hope she hasn't asked anyone down today.
Why, have you?
Yes.
Why on earth didn't you tell me?
I didn't think you'd care one way or the other.
Who is it?
Richard Greatham.
How exciting. I've never heard of him.
I shouldn't flaunt my ignorance if I were you, Simon. It makes you look silly.
Well, that's done.
Everyone's heard of Richard Greatham.
Oh, how exciting for them.
He's a frightfully well-known diplomatist. I met him at the Mainwaring's dance.
You'll need all his diplomacy here.
Well, I told him not to expect good manners, but I hope you'll be as pleasant to him as you can be.
I've never met any diplomatists, but as a class, I'm extremely prejudiced against them. They're so suave and polished and debonair.
You could stand to gain some polish without losing class.
Will they have the papers with them?
What papers?
Oh, any papers.
I wish you'd confine your biting irony to your caricature, Simon.
And I wish you'd confine your girlish infatuations to London and not force them on your defenseless family.
I shall endeavor to keep him as out of your way as possible.
Do, darling. Clara, has Mother asked anyone down this weekend?
Well, I don't know, darling. There isn't much food in the house, and, well, Amy's got it too.
Oh, I've got some oil of cloves somewhere.
Well, she tried that, but it only burnt her tongue. Poor girl's been writhing about in the scullery like 1 o'clock.
Oh, you haven't forgotten to put the flowers in the Japanese room?
The Japanese room is essentially feminine and entirely unsuited for the pet of the Foreign Office.
Shut up, Simon.
The flowers look lovely, dear. You needn't worry. Just like your mother's dressing room on a first night.
How restful.
Did you ask her about your boyfriend?
Not boyfriend, Clara.
Well, whatever he is.
I do believe, Sorel's beginning to be ashamed of us, Clara. I don't altogether blame her. We are very slapdash.
Are you going to keep those pictures up in the guest bathroom, dear? I'm not sure it's quite the thing. All those pink, naked women rolling about in a field.
Nudity can be very beautiful, Clara.
Oh, can it? Perhaps all my years as a dresser has spoiled my eye for it.
Clara's beginning to look a bit tired. We have to hire more servants and not depend on her so much.
You know we can never keep them. You're right about us being slapdash, Simon. I wish we weren't.
Does it matter?
It must, I think. To other people.
It's not our fault. It's the way we've been brought up.
Well, if we're clever enough to realize that, we ought to be clever enough to change ourselves.
I'm not sure I want to change.
Well, we're so frightfully bad-mannered.
Not the people we like.
The people we like put up with it because they like us.
What do you mean by bad-mannered? Lack of social tricks and small talk?
We never attempt to look after people when they come here.
Why should we? It's loathsome being looked after.
Yes, but people like the little attentions. We've never once asked if they've slept well.
I find that impertinence anyhow.
Well, I'm going to try to improve.
You're only going on about this because you've got a mania for a diplomatist. You'll soon return to normal.
Abnormal, Simon. That's what we are, abnormal. People stare in astonishment when we say what we consider perfectly ordinary things.
Well, no use worrying about it, darling. Everyone sees things differently, and if people don't like it, they must lump it.
You look awfully dirty, Simon. What have you been doing?
Not washing very much.
You really should, darling. It's so bad for your skin to leave things bad on it.
Clara says Amy's got toothache.
Poor dear. There's some oil of cloves in my medicine cupboard. Who is Amy?
The scullery maid, I think?
How extraordinary. She doesn't look Amy a bit, does she? Much more flossy. Give me a cigarette. Delphiniums. Are those stubby red flowers, aren't they?
No, darling, they're tall and blue.
Yes, of course. The red ones are somebody's name. Asters, that's it. I knew it was something opulent. I do hope Clara has remembered about the Japanese room.
Japanese room.
Yes. I asked her to put some flowers in it and take Simon's flannels out of the wardrobe drawer.
So did I.
Why?
I've asked Richard Greatham down for the weekend. I didn't think you'd mind.
Mind? How dared you do such a thing?
Oh, he's a diplomatist.
That makes it much worse. We must wire and put him off at once.
It's too late for that.
Well, we'll tell Clara to say we've been called away.
That would be extremely rude, and anyhow, I want to see him.
Do you mean to stand there in cold blood and tell me you've invited a complete stranger down for the weekend and that you want to see him?
I've often done it before.
I fail to see how that helps. Where's he going to sleep?
The Japanese room.
Oh, no, he's not. Sandy TYRELL is sleeping in there.
There now! What did I tell you?
Sandy what?
TYRELL, dear.
Why didn't you tell us?
I did. I've talked of nothing but Sandy TYRELL for days. I adore Sandy TYRELL.
You've never mentioned him.
Who is he, Mother?
He's a perfect darling, and he's madly in love with me. Well, it isn't me, really. It's my celebrated actress glamour. But it gives me a divinely cozy feeling. I met him at Nora Trent's.
Mother, I wish you wouldn't do this sort of thing.
What exactly do you mean by this sort of thing, Sorrel?
You know perfectly well what I mean.
Are you attempting to criticize me?
I should think you'd be above encouraging silly, callow young men who are infatuated by your name.
Well, that may be true, but I shall allow nobody but myself to say it.
It's so terribly cheap.
Cheap? Nonsense. What about your diplomatist?
Oh, surely that's a little different, dear.
Nonsense. He is coming down, and he won't mind sleeping in the Japanese room. Sandy TYRELL will be in the Japanese room. He's frightfully athletic, and little hell would not be good because it would sap all his energy.
Well, it'll sap Richard's energy, too.
Nonsense. He's probably used to scorching tropical embassies with punkers waving and everything.
He's sure to be deadly, anyhow.
You've grown far too blasé and exclusive, Simon.
I simply loathe being hearty with your men friends.
You've never even been civil to any of my friends, men or women.
Don't bicker.
Besides, the Japanese room's an essentially feminine room, and a woman ought to have it.
No, Sandy's sleeping there. He loves anything Japanese.
So does MYRA.
MYRA?
Oh, MYRA ARUNDEL. I've asked her down.
You've what?
I've asked MYRA ARUNDEL down for the weekend. She's awfully, amusing.
Well, all I can say is it's beastly of you. You might have warned me. What on earth will Richard say?
Something exquisitely non-committal, I expect.
Simon, you mean to tell me...
Yes, Mother, I do. I've asked MYRA down for the weekend, and I've every right to. You've always brought us up to be free about things.
Well, MYRA ARUNDEL is straining freedom to its utmost limits.
Don't you like her?
No, dear. I detest her. She's far too old for you, and she goes about using sex as a sort of shrimping net.
Really? Mother?
Now, don't be cross. You know perfectly well I dislike her. That's why you waited to tell me till it was too late to stop her. It's intolerable of you.
Whether she's here or not is of extreme indifference to me. But I'm afraid Richard won't like her very much.
You're afraid he'll like her too much.
That was an offensive remark, Simon, and rather silly.
You've both upset me thoroughly. I wanted a nice, quiet weekend with moments of Sandy's ingenuous affection to warm the cockles of my heart when I felt in the mood. Now there's going to be total discord. Not enough food, everybody fighting for the bath. Perfect agony. I wish I were dead.
Well, you need to worry about MYRA and me. We shall keep out of everyone's way.
I shall take Richard out on the river all day tomorrow.
In what?
The punt.
I forbid you to go near the punt.
It's sure to rain anyhow.
What your father will say about all this, I tremble to think. He needs complete quiet to finish off the sinful woman.
Oh, well, I don't see why there should be any noise unless Sandy, what's his name, is given to shouting!
If you're angry with Sandy, I shall be extremely mad at you.
Oh, why you should expect her to do anything but shout the entire weekend, I don't know, because that's what she does every...
Are you all making such
such a noise.
I think I'm going mad.
Why hasn't Clara brought me my tea?
I don't know.
Well, where is Clara?
Do stop firing questions at me, David.
What are you all so irritable about? What's happened?
Here's your tea. I'm sorry I'm late with it. Amy forgot to put the kettle on. She's got a terrible toothache.
Poor girl. Tell her to put some oil of clothes on it.
If anyone else mentions oil clothes, I shall do something desperate.
No, it's frightfully good stuff. Where's Zoe?
Last saw her in the garden this morning.
And I suppose no one thought of giving her any lunch.
I put it down by the kitchen table as usual, but she never came in for it.
She's probably mousing.
She isn't old enough. She might have fallen into the river for all you care. I think it's a shame.
Don't worry your head about it. Zoe won't come to any harm. She's too wily.
I don't want to be disturbed. Look here, Simon. There's a perfectly sweet young flapper coming down by the fourth. You go and meet her, and be nice to her. She's an abject fool, but a useful sort, and I want to observe her in domestic surroundings. She can sleep in the Japanese room.
I should like somebody to play something extremely beautiful for me on the piano.
Clara! Me a lot.
What does Father mean by going on like that?
In view of the imminent reception, you'd better go and shave, Simon.
It's perfectly beastly. Whenever I try to plan anything, it's always done in by someone. I wish I were making my own living somewhere, a free agent, able to do what I liked without being cluttered up and frustrated by the family.
It grieves me to hear you say that, Sorrel.
Don't be infuriating, Mother.
A change has come over my children of late. I've tried to close my eyes to it, but in vain. At my time of life, I must face bitter facts.
This is going to be the blackest Saturday till Monday we've ever spent.
Don't cry, Sorrel.
Don't sympathize with me, Mother. It's only temper.
Come and sit and put your head on my shoulder.
Your head, like the golden fleece.
Richard will have to sleep in Little Hell in that horrible flapper, the Japanese room.
Over my dead body.
Mother, what are we to do?
We must all be very kind to everyone.
Now then, Mother, none of that.
I don't know what you mean, Simon,
You're being beautiful and sad.
but I am beautiful and sad.
You're not particularly beautiful, darling, and you never were.
Never mind. I made thousands think I was.
And as for sad, you seem to...
Now, Simon, I will not be dictated to like this. If I say I'm sad, I am sad. You don't understand because you're pompous and tiresome. There comes a time in all women's lives.
Oh, dear.
What did you say, Sorrel?
I said, oh, dear.
Well, please don't say it again because it annoys me.
You're such a lovely hypocrite.
I don't know what I've done to be cursed with such ungrateful children. It's very cruel at my time of life.
There you go again.
You're growing far too tall.
Sorry, Mother?
Give me another of those disgusting cigarettes. I don't know where they came from. I shall forget all about all these dreadful people coming. Henceforward, my mind shall be a blank on the subject.
That's all perfectly fine, Mother, but
I made a great decision this morning.
What kind of decision?
It's a secret.
aren't you going to tell us?
Of course, I meant it was a secret from your father.
Oh, what is it?
I'm going back to the stage.
Oh, I knew it.
I'm stagnating here. I refuse to stagnate as long as there's breath left in my body.
Are you sure that's wise? You retired so very finally last year. What excuse could you possibly give for returning so soon?
My public, dear. Letters from my public.
Have you had any?
One or two. That's what decided me, really. I ought to have had hundreds.
We'll write some lovely ones, and you can publish those in the papers.
Of course.
You will be dignified about this, won't you, darling?
I'm much more dignified on the stage than I am in the country. It's my milieu. I've tried terribly hard to be landed gentry, but without any real success. I long for glamour and excitement. Think of the thrill of an opening night. All those ardent playgoers willing one to succeed. The critics all leaning forward with glowing faces, rapt and exultant, emitting queer little inarticulate noises whenever some witty line tickles their fancy. The satisfied grunts of the Daily Mail. The abandoned gurgle of the New York Times. And the shrill, enthusiastic scream of the Daily Express. I can distinguish them all.
Oh, have you got a play?
I think I shall revive Love's Whirlwind.
Oh, Mother!
Father will be furious.
I can't help that.
It's such a fearful play.
Now, Sorrel, you mustn't say too much against it. I'm willing to laugh at it a little myself, but after all, it was one of my greatest successes.
Oh, it's appalling, but I do enjoy it. It makes me laugh.
Well, the public enjoy it too, and they don't laugh much. You are a fool, a blind, pitiable fool. You think because you have bought my body that you have bought my soul. You must admit that's dramatic. I've dreamed of love like this, but I never knew. I never realized how wonderful it could be in reality. That line always brought a tear to my eye.
The second act is the best. There's no doubt about that.
Yes, when Victor comes on, it's strong, tremendously strong. Be Victor for a minute, Sorrel.
Do you mean when he comes in at the end of the act?
Yes, you know. Is this a game?
Is this a game?
Yes, and a game that must be played to the finish.
Zara, what does this mean?
So many illusions shattered, so many dreams trodden in the dust.
I'm George now, but I don't understand. You and Victor, my God.
Hush! Isn't that little Pam crying?
She'll cry more, poor Mike, when she realizes her mother is a...
Damn, there's the bell.
Oh, I look hideous.
Yes, dear.
Oh,
Clara? Oh, there will be 8 for dinner tonight, Clara.
My God!
And for breakfast, lunch, tea, and dinner tomorrow.
Will you get various rooms ready?
Well, I shall have to now. They can't sleep in the passage.
Oh, now we've upset Clara.
It can't be helped. Nothing can be helped. It's fate. Everything that happens is fate. That's always a great comfort to me.
More like arrant selfishness.
Oh, you mustn't be hurt, Clara.
Hurt I may be, but I've got some thought for others. 8 for dinner, Amy going home early. It's nothing more nor less than an imposition.
And you better let them all in.
I say, it's perfectly ripping of you to let me come down.
Are you alone?
Yes,
I mean, wasn't there anybody else at the station?
I motored down. My car's outside. Would you like me to meet anybody?
Oh, no. I must introduce you. This is my son Simon and my daughter Sorel.
How do you do?
I'm extremely well, thank you. And I hope you are.
So do I.
You must forgive me for having rather peculiar children. Do you have a bag or anything?
Yes, it's in the car.
Oh, well, we better leave it there for now, as Clara has to get the tea. Would you like a drink?
No thanks. I'm in training.
How lovely. What for?
I'm boxing again in a couple weeks.
Oh, how exciting. I must come to your first night.
You look simply splendid.
You know, you mustn't mind if Simon and Sorel insult you a little. They've been very bad-tempered lately.
It's awfully funny you having a grown-up son and daughter at all. I can hardly believe it.
I was married very young.
I don't wonder. You know, it's frightfully queer the way I've been planning to know you for ages, and never did until last week.
That's sweet. I liked you from the start, really, because you're such a nice shape.
Oh, I see.
Small hips and lovely broad shoulders. I wish Simon had small hips. Do you think you could teach him to box?
Rather, if he likes.
That's just the problem. He probably won't like. He's dreadfully that sort of thing. You must use your influence subtly. I'm sure David would be pleased.
Who's David?
My husband.
Oh!
Why do you say, oh, like that? Didn't you know I had a husband?
I thought he was dead.
No, he's not dead. He's upstairs.
You're quite different from what you were the other day.
Oh, it's this garden hat. There, I'll take it off. I was pruning the calceolarias.
Oh?
I spend long hours in my garden. I do love it. It's so quaint and restful. I spend long hours dreaming in it. You know how one dreams.
Oh, yes.
I always longed to leave the brittle glamour of the city and theaters behind and find rest in some old world nook. That's why we came to Cookham.
Awfully nice place, Cookham.
Yes. Have you seen me on the stage?
Rather.
Oh, what in?
That thing where you pretended to cheat at cards to save your husband's good name?
Oh, The Bold Deceiver. That play was never quite right.
You were absolutely wonderful. That was when I first fell in love with you.
Oh, was it really?
Yes, you were so frightfully pathetic and brave.
Was I?
Rather.
Well, go on.
I feel such a fool telling you what I think, as though it mattered.
But it does matter to me, anyhow.
Does it, honestly?
Certainly.
It seems too good to be true, sitting here and talking as though we were old friends.
We are old friends. We probably met in another life. Reincarnation. You know, fascinating.
You do say ripping things.
You know what? Give me a cigarette. Can you punt?
Yes, a bit.
I wish you would teach Simon to punt. He always gets the pole stuff.
I'd rather teach you.
Oh, you're so gallant and chivalrous. Much more like an American than an Englishman.
I should like to go on saying nice things to you after.
Sandy. There now.
Is there anyone else coming to stay?
Anyone else? You don't know. You just don't know.
But you said things would be quite quiet, with nobody at all.
I was wrong. It's going to be very noisy with herds of angry people stamping about. Give me my hat.
Judith, my dear, this is divine.
Too lovely. Where are the others?
What others?
Didn't you come by the 4:30?
Yes.
Well, wasn't there anybody else at the station?
Yes, several people, but I didn't know they were coming here.
Well, they are.
Sorrel said it was going to be just ourselves this weekend.
Sorrel?
Yes. Didn't she tell you she'd asked me? Weren't you expecting me?
Simon muttered something about you coming, but Sorrel didn't say anything. Wasn't that odd of her?
You're a divinely mad family. It's useless to wait for introductions with the Blisses. How do you do? I'm Myra Arundel.
Sandy Tyrell, Myra Arundel, Myra Arundel, Sandy Tyrell. There.
Is that your car outside?
Yes.
Judith, I do think you might have told me someone was motoring down. A nice car would have been so much more comfortable than that beastly train.
I never knew you were coming to just a little bit ago.
It's heavenly here after London. The heat was terrible when I left. You look awfully well, Judith. Rusticating obviously agrees with you.
I'm glad you think so. Personally, I feel a nervous breakdown is imminent.
My dear, how ghastly. What is the matter?
Nothing yet, Myra, but I have presentiments. Come upstairs with me, Sandy, and I'll show you your room. I'll send Simon down to you. I think he's shaving, but you won't mind that, will you?
Oh, Myra! Oh, this is marvelous.
No, David, no, Simon, it's too hot.
Why, you look perfectly cool.
I'm more than cool, really, but it's not climatic coolness. I've been mentally chilled to the marrow by Judith's attitude.
Why? What did she say?
Nothing very much. She was bouncing about on the sofa with a hearty young thing in flannels and seemed to resent my appearance, rather.
Oh, you mustn't take any notice of Mother.
I'll try not to, but it's difficult.
She adores you, really.
I'm sure she does.
She's just upset because Father and Sorrel have been inviting people down without telling her.
Oh, poor dear. I quite see why.
You look enchanted.
Thank you, Simon.
Are you pleased to see me?
Of course, that's why I came.
Oh, darling!
Don't shout.
I feel most colossally temperamental. I should like to kiss you and break everything in the house and then jump in the river.
Dear Simon!
Oh, you look, here's everything I want you to be. Marvelous looks, marvelous clothes, marvelous brains. Oh, it's terrible. Oh.
I dined with Charlie Templeton last night.
Well, you're a devil. You only did it to annoy me. You couldn't. He's far too plump and can't do anything but dither about the embassy in badly cut trousers. You loathe him, really. You know you do. You're far too intelligent not to. You couldn't possibly like him and me. It's impossible.
Don't be so conceited.
Well, I adore you.
That's right.
But you're callous. That's what it is, callous. You don't care a damn. You don't love me a bit, do you?
Love some very big words.
No, it isn't. It's tiny. What are we going to do?
About what?
It can't go on like this.
I'm not going on like anything.
Yes, you are. You're going on like Medusa and those awful snakeheads popping their heads from under your hat. I shall be turned to stone any minute. And then you'll be sorry.
You're very sweet, and I'm very fond of you.
Well then, tell me what you've been up to. Everything.
Nothing.
What do you do after you dined with Charlie Templeton?
Supped with Charlie Templeton.
Well, I don't mind a bit. I hope you ate lots and enjoyed yourself. There.
Generous boy, come and kiss me.
You don't really want to. You're only playing up to me, aren't you?
I'm aching for it.
I love you.
This weekend's going to be strenuous.
Oh, hell on earth. 15 million people in the house. We shall get up at 7 and race down the river.
No, we won't.
Okay. Well, let us not agree on anything this entire weekend. We shall both be difficult. I love being difficult.
You certainly do.
I'm in a most lovely mood now.
Is your father here?
Yes, he's working on a new book.
Oh, he writes brilliantly.
Doesn't he? He drinks too much tea, though.
It can't do him much harm, surely.
It tans the stomach.
Who's Sandy Tyrell?
Never heard of him.
He's here with Judith.
Oh, the young thing with hot hands. Yes, we'll avoid him.
I thought he looked rather nice.
You must be joking. You look disgusting.
Idiot.
Smooth my head with your soft white hand.
Ooh, it's got glue on it.
You smell enchanting. What is it?
Borgia of Rosine.
Oh, how appropriate.
You're too demonstrative today, Simon.
Damn, it's those drearies.
Is this Mrs. Bliss's house?
Oh, yes, this is it.
Is Miss Sorrel Bliss in?
I expect so. I'll see if I can find her.
Hello. Did you have a nice trip down?
Yes, very nice, thank you. This is Miss CORYTON. We met at the station. We introduced ourselves while we were waiting for the only taxi to get back.
Oh, I took the only taxi. How maddening of me.
Mrs. Arundel, how do you do? I never recognized you.
I did.
Why? Have we met anywhere?
No, I mean, I recognized you as the one who took the only taxi.
You are Sorrel's brother?
Yes, and she'll be down any minute. Come on out into the garden, Myra.
Oh, but Simon, we can't.
Oh, yes, we can. I shall go mad if we stay a minute longer. Tea will be here soon.
Well,
A strange young man.
very rude, I think.
Have you ever met him before?
No, I haven't met any of them except Mr. He's a wonderful person.
I wonder if he knows you're here.
Maybe that funny lady who opened the door will tell him.
It was fortunate that we met at the station.
I'm frightfully glad. I should have been terrified arriving all by myself.
I do hope this weather will keep good over Sunday. The country around here is simply delightful.
Yes.
There's nowhere like England in the spring and summer.
No, there isn't, is there?
There's sort of a quality you find in no other country.
Have you traveled a lot?
A good deal.
Oh, lovely.
Spain is very beautiful.
Yes, I've always heard that Spain was quite nice.
Except for the bullfights.
No one who ever really loved horses could enjoy a bullfight.
Nor anyone who loved bulls either.
Exactly.
Italy's awfully nice, isn't it?
Oh, yes, charming.
I've always wanted to go to Italy.
Rome is a beautiful city.
Yes, I've always heard that Rome was lovely.
Yeah, Naples and Capri. Capri's enchanting.
It must be.
Have you ever been abroad at all?
Oh yes, I went to Udlock once. We had a house there for the summer.
Dear little place, Eve.
Yes, it was lovely. Well,
Russia used to be a wonderful country.
it must have been. Was that her?
Who?
Judith Bliss.
Oh, yes, I expect it was.
Wish I'd never come.
You mustn't worry. They're a very bohemian family, I believe.
Wonder if Mr. Bliss knows I'm here.
I wonder.
Couldn't we ring a bell or something?
Oh, yes, perhaps we better.
I don't suppose it rings.
You mustn't be depressed. It's
always a little embarrassing coming to a strange house for the first time.
Feel horrid.
You'll like Sorrel. She's charming.
I wonder where she is.
I expect T will be here soon.
Do you think they have tea?
Oh, yes. They must.
Well, we'd better go on later then.
Do you mind if I smoke?
Not a bit.
Will you?
No, thank you.
I got this case in Japan. It's pretty, isn't it?
Awfully pretty.
Oh, Richard, I'm dreadfully sorry. I didn't know you'd arrived.
We've been here a good while.
Oh, how awful. I'm dreadfully sorry. I was upstairs.
This is Miss CORYTON.
Oh. How do you do? Have you come to see Father?
Yes.
He's in his study. You'd better go on up.
I don't know the way.
Oh, well, I'd better show you. Come on. Richard, wait a minute. It's along that passage and the third door on the right.
Oh,
Thank you. Poor girl looks half-witted.
She's shy, I think.
I hope Father will find her a comfort.
Tell me one thing, Sorrel. Did your father and mother know I was coming?
Oh, yes. They were awfully pleased.
Rather nice-looking woman came downstairs in a big hat and went into the garden with a young man without saying a word.
That was Mother, I expect. We're an independent family. We entertain our friends sort of separately.
Oh, I see.
It was sweet of you to come.
Oh, I wanted to. I've been thinking about you a lot.
Have you really? Oh, well, that's thrilling.
I mean it. You're so vital and different and more alive than other people.
I'm so frightened you'll be bored here.
Bored? Why should I be?
Oh, I don't know. But you won't be, will you? Or if you are, tell me at once and we'll do something quite different.
You're rather a dear, you know.
Oh, I'm not. I'm devastating, entirely lacking in restraint. And so Simon, it's Father's and Mother's fault, really. You see, they're so vague. They've dedicated all their lives to cultivating their arts and not once devoting any time to ordinary conventions and manners and things. And I'm the only one who sees that, so I'm trying to improve. I'd love to be able to carry off a difficult situation with a lift of the eyebrows.
I'm sure you could carry off anything.
There you are, you see, saying the right thing. You always say the right thing and no one knows a bit what you're really thinking. Oh, that's what I adore.
I'm afraid to say anything now, in case you think I'm only being correct.
But you are correct. I wish you'd teach Simon to be more correct.
It would be uphill work, I'm afraid.
Why, don't you like him?
We've only met for a moment.
Would you like to see the garden?
Oh, very much indeed.
Okay. No! As a matter of fact, we'd better wait until after tea.
Oh.
Shall I sing you something?
Oh, please do. I should enjoy it very much.
I don't want to, a bit. Only I'm trying to entertain you. It's as easy as pie to talk in someone else's house, but like at the dance the other night. But here on my own ground, I'm finding it difficult.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's not your fault. Honestly, it isn't. You're wonderfully kind and responsive. What should we do?
I'm quite happy just talking to you.
Can you play Mahjong?
No, I'm afraid I can't.
Oh, I'm so glad. I do hate it so. Oh, here's tea!
Where's your mother, dear?
Out in the garden, I expect.
It's starting to rain. Oh, everyone will come dashing in then. How awful.
Won't all the luggage out there get wet?
What luggage?
I'll get it when I've done making the tea.
Oh, don't trouble. I'll get it now.
We should have got William up from the village.
It's Saturday.
I know it is.
He's playing cricket.
Oh, do sit down and smoke. I can easily manage.
Oh, certainly not.
Oh. MYRA. Oh, faggot. Well, there now. We've probably broken something.
Well, it's not my bag, so it doesn't matter. These should be the last ones, I expect.
Oh, do you know where to go if you want to wash?
No. But I'm all right.
Oh. Hello, Sorrel. How are you? Oh, splendid. Have you met Mr. Greatham?
Yes, we've met several times.
Come sit down, Myra. I'll check on tea.
Did you have much trouble coming down, Mrs. Arundel?
Oh, the train is beastly.
Isn't it always?
I understand someone in the car.
Is tea ready? Yes, just.
Simon, come and be nice to Miss Hollis.
We met already.
That's no reason not to be nice to her.
How do you do?
How do you do? Are you staying here?
I hope so.
You must forgive me for looking rather frowsy. I've been working hard.
Ah, Father, I want you to meet Mr. Greatham. How do you do? When did you arrive?
This afternoon.
Good. Have some tea. Where's your mother, Simon?
Last saw her out in the punt.
How extraordinary. She can't punt. Sandy Tyrell's with her.
Ah, well, she'll be all right then. Who is he?
I don't know.
Do sit down, everyone.
There's going to be a thunderstorm. I felt sick this morning. This is Sandy Tyrell.
Mother, I want you to meet Mr. Greatham.
You were here before, weren't you?
Before what, darling?
Before we went out in the punt. There was somebody else here, too, a fair girl. Oh, there you are. How do you do? Sandy, sit down and eat anything you want. Simon, give Sandy some bread and butter.
Here you go.
Thanks. So, how far are you from Maidenhead? The train was awfully crowded.
Thank you. We will now take a 15-minute intermission.
As a child, I went wild when the band played.
the green tetrazine starts to warble.
I grow cold like an old piece of marble.
I allude to the crude little party singer
Who don't know when to pause.
At her best, I detest the soprano.
But I run to the one at the piano.
I always love the accompaniment.
And that's because
We love the piano. We love the piano. We love to hear somebody play upon a piano, a grand piano. It simply carries us away. So you can keep your fill and your bow. Give us a P-I-A-N-O-O-O. We love to stop right beside an upright or a high-toned baby grand. Oh, thank you, Clara. Please take your seat.
All right, so who'll go out?
I don't mind.
No, you always guess it too quickly.
What do we have to do? Choose an adverb and then
And then he or she goes out and comes back in, and you've all chosen a word amongst yourselves. And he or she, whoever it is, asks you a question.
Not
and
an ordinary question, Simon. They ask you to do something in the manner of the word.
And then you act whatever it is.
the answer to the question, you see?
What sort of things is one expected to do?
oh, quite usual things like reciting if or playing the piano.
I can't play the piano.
Never mind, you can fake it so long as it conveys the meaning of the word.
The word we've all thought of?
Yes, the word we've chosen when whoever it is out of the room.
I'm afraid I don't quite understand yet.
Never mind, I'll explain. You see, he or she goes out.
I'll
and
go out the first time, just to show her.
All you need to do is just act in the manner of the word.
Look here, everybody. I'm going out.
All right, go on.
The history game's quite good, where two people go out and come back as Mary, Queen of Scots of Crippen or somebody.
I'm no earthly good at this sort of thing.
I'll show you, Sandy. Okay, you see.
There's always how, when, and where. We haven't played that for ages.
We can play that one next. We'll do this one first. Go on, Sorel.
Don't be too long.
Now then,
Bitterly.
we did that last week. She'll know.
Intensely.
Too difficult.
There was an amusing game I played at the Harrington's house once. Everyone was blindfolded, except for...
There's not enough room for that. What about winsomely? Eh?
I just wish I knew what we had to do. You'll see once we get started.
If we get started.
Oh, Mother's marvelous at this game. Remember when we played it the Mackenzies?
Yes, and Blanche was so cross when I kissed Freddie's ear in the manner of the word.
What was the word?
I can't remember.
Perhaps it's as well.
What about drearily?
Not definite enough.
Winsomely's better.
She's sure to guess that straight off.
These games are much too brainy for me.
Young Norman Robertson used to be marvelous at it. You remember?
Oh, yes. Wonderful sense of humor.
He's lost it all since his marriage.
I didn't know you knew him.
Well, considering he married my cousin.
We don't seem to be getting on with the game.
We haven't thought of a word yet.
Rightly.
Too obvious.
Very well, don't snap at me.
Saucily. I've got a lovely idea for saucily.
I should think rudely would be the easiest.
Don't be sour, Myra.
The great thing is to get an obscure word.
Oh, shame Irene isn't here. She knows masses of obscure words.
She probably picked them up from her obscure friends.
No use being catty about Irene. She's a perfect darling.
I wasn't being catty at all.
Yes, you were.
Hurry up!
Quickly now, we must think.
Appendicitis!
That's not an adverb.
You're thinking of charades.
Charades are damn good fun.
Yes, but we don't happen to be playing them at the moment.
Sorry.
Saucily.
No, winsomely is better.
Very well, call her in.
Sorrel, come in. We're ready.
Which is it? Saucily or winsomely?
Winsomely.
Go pick the flower out of that vase and give it to Richard.
Oh, marvelous.
Oh, lovely. Now, Myra, get up and say goodbye to everybody in the manner of the word.
Goodbye. It really has been most delightful.
No, no, no.
Why, what's the matter?
You haven't got the right intonation a bit.
Mother, do shut up.
Remember what an advantage you have over us poor amateurs, Judith, having been a professional for so long.
I don't like so long very much.
Do you think we might go on now?
Yes, go on to the next. I'm not going to do any more.
Well, please do. You were simply splendid.
No, it doesn't matter. Light a cigarette in the manner of the word.
I've forgotten what it was.
You remember?
Oh, yes.
No.
I can't think what that's meant to be.
I was doing my best.
It's so simple, but nobody can do it right.
Do you believe you've muddled it up?
You'd better go on to the next one.
What word were you doing? Whisper.
Saucily?
I knew it. He was doing the wrong word.
Oh!
I see.
Let him have another chance.
No, it's Jackie's turn next. We'll come around to him again, I'm afraid.
Do a dance in the manner of the word.
I can't.
Nonsense. Of course you can.
I can't, honestly.
Come on, give it a shot.
No, I'd much rather not. Count me out.
Really, the ridiculous fuss everyone makes.
I'm awfully stupid at anything like this.
It's only a game, after all.
Come now, try. No, I can't. Please don't ask me to. I simply can't.
Leave her alone if she doesn't want to.
What's the use of playing if no one will do it properly?
It's so simple.
It's awfully difficult if you haven't done it before.
Go on to the next one.
Unless everyone's in it, we won't play at all.
Don't lose your temper.
Lose my temper? Oh, well, I like that. No one's given me the slightest indication of what the word is. You all just argue and squabble and talk over.
Talk. Everybody talks too much.
It's so surprising to me when people won't play up. After all,
It's a hateful game anyhow, and I don't want to play it again ever.
You haven't played it at all yet.
Don't be rude, Sorrel.
Really, Simon, the way you do go on is infuriating.
It's always like this whenever Sorrel goes out, she gets quarrelsome.
Quarrelsome!
Don't worry, Jackie. You needn't do anything you don't want to do.
I think for the future, we'd better confine our efforts to social conversation and not attempt anything in the least intelligent.
How can you be so unkind, Mother?
Don't speak to me like that.
It's all my fault. I know I'm awfully silly, but it embarrasses me so terribly doing anything in front of other people.
I should think the word was winsomely.
You must have been listening at the door.
Not at all. Miss CORYTON gave it away.
Oh, why Miss CORYTON all of a sudden? You've been calling her Jackie all evening. You're far too grand, Sorrel.
And you're absolutely maddening. I'll never play another game with you as long as I live.
That won't break my heart.
Stop.
Oh, come out into the garden. I am sick of this.
Don't let him take you out onto the river. He isn't very good at it.
Ha ha, very funny.
You're behaving disgracefully, Sorrel.
Simon ought to go into the army or something.
You both ought to be in reformatories.
It's always like this whenever we play a game. We're a beastly family and I hate us.
Oh, speak for yourself, dear.
I can't, without speaking for everyone else, too. We're all exactly the same, and I'm ashamed of us. Come into the library, Sandy.
Charming. It's all perfectly charming.
You know, Judith, I think it would be a bit better if you exercised just a little more influence over the children.
That's right. Blame it all on me.
Well, you did start it, dear, by snapping everyone up.
It was a great mistake for you to marry me, dear. You ought never to have done it.
The atmosphere in this house grows more unbearable every day, and all because Simon and SOREL are allowed to do exactly as they like.
You sit upstairs all day writing your novels.
Novels which earn us our daily bread.
Daily bread? Ha! Nonsense! We have enough money to live in comfort until we die.
That will be very soon if we can't get a little peace. Come into the garden, MYRA.
I do hope the night air will cool you down.
I don't know what's happened to you lately, Judith.
Nothing has happened to me. Nothing ever does. You're far too smug to allow it.
Smug. Thank you.
Yes, smug, 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 and pompous.
You haven't been drinking, have you, dear?
Drinking? Ha! That's very amusing.
I think it's rather tragic. It's your time of life.
David has been a good husband to me. He's wearing a bit thin right now.
Would you like me to go? To leave you alone for a little?
Why? Are you afraid I shall become violent?
No, I merely thought that I was in the way.
Oh, I do hope you're not embarrassed. I couldn't bear you to be embarrassed.
Not at all.
Marriage is a hideous affair altogether, don't you think?
I'm really hardly qualified to judge, you see.
Oh, do stop being non-committal just for once. It's doubly annoying in the face of us all having lost control so lamentably.
I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. After all, it's your particular thing, isn't it? Observing everything and not giving yourself away an inch?
I suppose it is.
Well, you'll get used to us in time, and then you'll feel cozier. Won't you sit down?
I'm enjoying myself very much.
That's very sweet of you, but I don't see how you can be.
But I am.
Oh, there now. That was a genuine laugh. We're getting on. Are you in love with SOREL?
In love with SOREL?
Oh, there. I've murdered it now. I've killed the little tender feeling of comfort that was stealing over you by sheer tactlessness. Will you teach me to be tactful?
Did you really think I was in love with SOREL?
It's so difficult to tell. I mean, you might not know yourself. She's very attractive, you know.
Yes, she is. Very.
Have you heard her sing?
No, not yet.
She sings beautifully. Are you susceptible to music?
I'm afraid I don't know very much about it.
Then you probably are. I'll sing you something.
Please do.
You know, it's awfully sad for a woman of my temperament to have a grown-up daughter. I must put my pride in my pocket and develop in her all the charming little feminine tricks which will eventually cut me out altogether.
That wouldn't be possible.
I do hope you meant that because it was a sweet remark.
Oh, of course I meant it.
Will you lean on the piano in an attentive fashion? Clara?
You're an extraordinary person.
In what way extraordinary?
When I first met SOREL, I guessed what she'd be like.
Did you now? And am I?
Exactly.
Well then. Shall we sit down again?
Won't you sing anymore?
No, no more. I want you to talk to me and tell me all about yourself and the things you've done.
I've done nothing.
What a shame. Why not?
I never realize how dead I am until I meet people like you. It's depressing.
Nonsense. You're not a bit dead.
Do you always live here?
I'm going to from now on. I intend to sink into a very beautiful old age. When the children marry, I shall wear a cap.
How ridiculous.
Well, I don't mean a funny cap.
You're far too full of vitality to sink into any.
Oh, it's all spurious vitality. If you trouble to look below the surface, you find a very troubled and weary spirit. It's just really a shame, you know?
Surely such successful battles as yours have been are not wearying.
But they are frightful. I've reached an age where I just want to sit back and let things go on around me, and they do.
I should like to know exactly what you're thinking about. Really.
I was thinking of calling you Richard. It's such a nice, uncompromising name.
I should be very flattered if you would.
I won't suggest you calling me Judith unless you feel really comfortable about me.
But I do. Judith?
That's sweet. Can I have a cigarette?
Certainly.
What a divine taste.
It was given to me in Japan 3 years ago. All those little designs mean things.
And what sort of things?
Charms for happiness, luck, and love.
Which is the charm for love?
That.
What a dear. Richard.
I'm sorry, I don't know what came over me.
What are we to do? What are we to do?
I don't know.
David must be told everything.
Everything?
Yes, everything. There come moments in life when it is necessary to be honest. Absolutely honest. I've taught myself to shun the underhand methods other women so often employ. The truth must be faced fair and square.
The truth? I don't quite understand.
Oh, I know. You're trying to spare me, but it's no use. This may, of course, rather break David up. Poor dear. But it can't be helped. You know, they say suffering is good for writers. It strengthens their psychology. Oh, my poor, poor dear. Never mind. You better go out and wait.
Wait? What for?
For me. For me. into the summer house and wait for me. I shall be out in a little bit.
Look here, Judith. I apologize for what I did just now.
I had begun to think that romance was dead, that I should never know it again. Before, of course, I had my work and my life in the theater, but now, nothing. Life has become broken and empty like a hollow shell.
But Judith...
But now you've come, and it's all changed. It's magic. I'm under a spell that I thought never to recapture again.
Judith.
No, it's okay. Don't stop me. My mind is resolved. It's the only way. Go along. Go.
Look here, Mother,
What am I to say to you, Sorrel?
I don't know, Mother.
Neither do I.
It was my fault, Mrs. Bliss.
What a fool I've been. What a blind fool.
Mother, are you really upset?
Shh, don't speak right now. We must all take a moment and think.
It was nothing, really, for heaven's sake.
Nothing. I opened the library door, and what do I see? I ask you, what do I see?
I'm most awfully sorry.
Shh. The time has passed for superficial apologies.
Mother, be natural for a minute.
I am trying to realize a very bitter truth as calmly as I can.
There's nothing so very bitter about it.
Oh, my poor dear.
Very well, then. I love Sandy, and he loves me.
Well, that's the only possible excuse for your behavior.
Why shouldn't we love each other if we want to?
Well, Sandy was in love with me this afternoon.
Not real love. You know it wasn't.
I know now.
I say, look here. I'm most awfully sorry.
Don't be sorry. There's nothing to be sorry for, really. It's my fault for having been so ridiculous.
Oh, Mother.
Yes, ridiculous. I'm getting old, and the sooner I face it, the better.
But, darling.
Oh, youth will be served. You're so pretty, darling. Far prettier than I ever was. I'm so glad you're pretty.
I feel a fearful cad.
Why should you? You've done nothing wrong. You've answered the only call that really matters, the call for love and romance and spring. I forgive you, Sandy, completely there.
Well, that's all right, then.
I resent your tone, Sorrel. You seem to be taking things too much for granted. Perhaps you don't realize that I've made a great sacrifice.
Sorry, Mother.
At my time of life.
But, Mother, say you understand and forgive.
Understand? You forget, dear. I am a woman.
I know, Mother. That's what makes it so poignant.
If you want sorrow truly, I give her to you. Unconditionally.
Thanks awfully, Mrs. Bliss.
You can still call me Judith, can't you? It's not too much to ask.
Judith?
There now. Away with melancholy. This is all tremendously exciting, and we must all be very happy.
Oh, but don't tell Father yet.
We won't tell anybody. It shall be our little secret.
Oh, you are splendid, Mother.
Nonsense. I'm just trying to face the truth. It's awfully good for one. It's so cleansing, you know? I think I'm going to go upstairs and have a little aspirin now. Youth, what a strange, mad muddle you make of things.
Well, that's that.
Yes.
Oh, it's all right. Don't look so gloomy. I know you don't love me, really.
I say, Sorrel.
Don't protest. You know you don't. Any more than I love you.
But you told Judith.
Ah, I was playing up. One always plays up to Mother in this house. It's a sort of unwritten law.
Didn't she mean all she said?
No. Not really. We none of us ever mean anything.
She seemed awfully upset.
It
must have come as a slight shock to discover us clasped tightly in each other's arms.
I believe I do love you, Sorrel.
A month ago, I should have let you go on believing that. But I can't. I'm bent on improving myself.
I don't understand.
Never mind, it doesn't matter. You just fell a victim to the atmosphere, that's all. Here we were, in the library, the windows open, and probably a nightingale somewhere about.
I only heard a cuckoo.
Even a cuckoo has charm in moderation. You kissed me because you were awfully nice. And I was awfully nice, and we both liked kissing very much. It was inevitable. And then Mother found us and got dramatic, and her sense of the theater is always fatal. She knows we shan't marry. Same as you and I do. You're under absolutely no obligation to me at all.
I wish I understood you a bit better.
Never mind about understanding me better. Let's go back to the library.
All right.
And so you see, he comes in and finds her there waiting for him.
She hadn't been away at all.
No, and that's psychologically right, I think. No woman under those circumstances would.
It's brilliant of you to see that. I do think the whole thing, that sounds most nice.
You got badly stuck in the middle of the book when the boy comes down from Oxford. But it worked out all right eventually.
When shall I be able to read it?
I'll send you the proofs. You can help me correct them.
Oh, how divine! I shall feel most important.
Would you, like a cigarette or anything?
No, thank you.
I think I'll have a drink.
Very well. Give me some plain soda water then.
There isn't any ice. Do you mind?
Not a bit.
Or?
Thank you. I wonder where everybody is.
Not here, thank God.
It must be dreadfully worrying for you having a house full of people.
Depends on the people.
I have a slight confession to make.
Confession?
Yes. Do you know why I came down here?
Not the least. I expect one of us asked you, didn't they?
Well, yes, they asked me, but
Well,
I was invited once before, last September.
I was in America then.
Exactly.
What do you mean exactly?
I didn't come. I'm a very determined woman, you know, and I made up my mind to meet you ages ago.
Well, that was charming of you. I'm not much to meet, really.
You see, I'd read Broken Reeds.
Did you like it?
Like it? I think it's one of the finest novels I've ever read.
There now.
How do you manage to know so much about women?
I'm afraid my knowledge of them is sadly superficial.
Oh, no. You can't call Evelyn's character superficial. It's amazing.
Why are you being so nice to me? Have you got a plan about something?
How suspicious you are.
I can't help it. You're very attractive, and I'm suspicious of attractive people on principle.
Not a very good principle.
I'll tell you something. Just between us.
Do?
You're wrong about me.
Wrong? In what way?
I write very bad novels.
Don't be ridiculous.
And you know I do, because you're an intelligent person.
I don't know anything of the kind.
Tell me why you're being so nice to me.
Because I want to be.
Why?
Because you're a very clever and amusing man.
Splendid.
And I think I've lost my heart to you.
Shall we elope?
David!
There now, you've called me David.
Do you mind?
Not a bit.
I'm not sure you're being very kind.
What makes you think that?
You're being the cynical author, laughing up his sleeve at a gushing admirer.
I think you're a very interesting woman. And extremely nice looking.
Do you?
Yes. Shall I make love to you?
Really? I wish you wouldn't say things like that.
I've knocked you off your plate. Forgive me. I'll look away for a moment while you climb on it again.
This is wonderful.
So it is. Now then,
Now then what?
you're adorable. You're magnificent. You're tawny.
I'm not tawny.
Don't argue.
This is sheer affectation.
Affectation's very nice.
No, it isn't. It's odious.
You mustn't be cross.
I'm not in the least cross.
You are. But you're very alluring.
Alluring?
Terribly.
I can hear your brain clicking. It's very funny.
Well, that was rather rude.
You've been consistently rude to me for hours.
Never mind.
Why have you?
I'm always rude to people I like.
Do you like me?
Enormously. Sweet of you. But I don't like your methods.
Methods? What methods?
You're far too pleasant to occupy yourself with the commonplace.
And you spoil yourself by trying to be clever.
Thank you.
Anyway, I don't know what you mean by commonplace.
You mean you want me to explain?
Not at all.
Very well, I will.
I shan't listen.
You'll pretend not to. You'll hear every word, really.
You're so quizzical and inscrutable. Just what a feminine psychologist should be.
Yes, aren't I?
I find you insufferable.
Darling.
Don't call me darling.
That's unreasonable. You've been trying to bake me all the evening.
How dare you?
It's true, it's true. If it weren't, you wouldn't be so angry.
You frighten me dreadfully.
Darling Myra.
Don't touch me.
You're charming.
Let go of my hand.
You're sweet.
Let go of my hand.
I won't.
You will.
You're perfectly lovely.
David.
You must admit, it's an entrancing amusement.
Forgive me for interrupting.
Do we have any chocolates in the house?
No, David.
I should like a chocolate more than anything in the world at the moment.
This is a very unpleasant situation, David and Carl. We must talk it all over.
I will not do anything of the kind.
Please don't be difficult.
I apologize, Judith.
Don't apologize, I understand.
Please let go of my hand, David. I should like to go to bed.
I should stay if I were you. It would be more dignified.
There isn't any real necessity for a scene.
I don't wish to make a scene. I just want to straighten things out.
Very well. Go on.
June has always been an unlucky month for me.
Look here, Judith. I'd like to explain one thing.
I don't wish to hear any explanations or excuses. They're so cheap. This was bound to happen sooner or later. It always does to everybody. The only thing is to stay calm.
I am perfectly calm.
There is such a thing as being too calm.
Sorry,
Life has dealt me another blow, but I don't mind.
What did you say?
I said life had dealt me another blow, but I didn't mind.
Rubbish!
You're irritable, dear, because you're in the wrong. It's quite usual.
Now, Judith.
You must let me speak. It is my right.
I don't see why.
I am the injured party, am I not?
Injured?
Yes, extremely injured.
Injured.
Your attitude, David, is nothing short of deplorable.
Oh, it's all nonsense. Sheer unbridled nonsense.
You can't evade the real issues as simply as that. I've known for a long time. I realized subconsciously for years that you've stopped caring for me in that way.
Oh, what do you mean that way?
Just that way. I'm growing old. Men don't grow old as women do, as you'll find to your cost, Myra, in a year or two. David has retained his youth astonishingly, probably because he's had fewer cares and responsibilities than I.
This is all ridiculous hysteria.
No, Myra, Judith's right. What are we to do?
Do nothing.
Do you love her truly, David?
Madly.
David!
I give her to you freely and without rancor. we must be very good friends always.
Do you mean it, Judith?
You know I do.
How can we ever repay you?
Just by being happy. I think I may leave this house later on. I have a feeling its associations may become painful, especially in the autumn.
Look here, Judith!
October is such a mournful month in England. I think I shall go abroad. Perhaps a pension somewhere in Italy with cypresses in the garden. I love cypresses. They're such sad, weary trees.
What about the children?
We must share them, dear.
I shall give you exactly half the royalties I received from everything, Judith.
That's very generous of you.
You have behaved magnificently. This is a crisis in our lives, and thanks to you...
I will speak!
Shh! Myra's right, dear. We must control our emotions for Judith's sake. A scene would be agonizing for her now. She has been brave and splendid throughout. Let's not make this any harder on her than we can. Come, we'll go out into the garden.
I will not go out into the garden.
Oh, please go. I don't think I could bear any more just now.
Is this the end, Judith?
Yes, my dear, the end.
Mother! Mother! Oh, I have something important to tell you.
Very well, Simon.
Where's Sorel?
In the library, I'm afraid.
Sorel! Sorel, I've got something vital to tell you.
You seem excited, my boy. What's wrong?
What's the matter?
I wish you wouldn't all look so depressed. It's good news.
Oh, good news. I thought perhaps Jackie had been drowned.
Oh, no, she hasn't been drowned. She's been something else.
What do you mean, Simon?
Jackie! Oh. She's become engaged to me.
Simon! Oh, Simon!
Oh, Mother, what are you crying for?
This is too much. All my chicks leaving the nest. Now I shall have only my memories left. Come and kiss me, Jackie. Oh, you must promise to make my son very happy.
But Mrs. Bliss!
Don't try to explain. I have not been a mother for nothing.
But it's not true.
I know you're trying to spare me.
Well, I won't spare your feelings or anyone else's. You're the most infuriating set of hypocrites I've ever seen. This house is a complete featherbed of false emotion. You're posing, self-centered egotists, and I'm sick to death of you.
Myra!
Don't speak to me. I've been working up for this, only every time I've opened my mouth, I've been mowed down by theatrical effects. You haven't got one sincere, genuine feeling among the lot of you. You're artificial to the point of lunacy. It's a pity you ever left the stage, Judith. It's your rightful home. You can rant and roar there as much as ever you like.
Rant and roar! May God forgive you.
And I'd like to say one more thing.
Myra, I will not let you say another word to Mother.
Let me speak. I will.
Yes, I do.
Never again. Never in my life.
I think you should be happy for Jackie.
What's happened? Is this a game?
Yes, and a game that must be played to the finish.
Sarah, what does this mean?
So many illusions shattered. So many dreams trodden in the dust.
Love's whirlwind. Dear old Love's whirlwind. Oh, I don't understand. You and Victor. My God.
Hush. Isn't that little Pam crying?
She'll cry more poor mite when she realizes her mother is our...
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Spare her that.
I've given you everything that makes life worth living. My youth, my womanhood, and now my child. Would you tear the very heart out of me? I tell you, it's infamous that men like you should be allowed to pollute society. You've ruined my life. I have nothing left, nothing. Oh, God in heaven, where am I to turn for help?
Is this true? Tell me, is this true?
Yes, yes.
You cur!
Don't strike. He is your father.
What's the matter?
Nothing.
I say, don't cry.
I'm not crying.
You were. I heard you.
It's this house. It gets on my nerves.
I don't wonder. After last night?
What were you doing in the library just now?
Hiding.
Hiding?
Yes, I didn't want to run up against any of the family.
Wish I'd never come. I had horrid nightmares all night, but with all those frightful dragons crawling across the walls.
Dragons?
Yes, I'm in a Japanese room. Everything in it's covered in dragons. Thinking of that.
How awful.
Probably they're all mad, you know?
The Blisses?
Yes, they must be.
I've been thinking that too.
Do you suppose they know they're mad?
No, people never do.
Mr. Bliss asked me down, and he hasn't paid any attention to me at all since I got here. I went into his study soon after I arrived, and he said, "Who the hell are you?"
Didn't you remember?
He did after. Then he brought me down to tea and left me.
Are you really engaged to Simon?
Oh no, I hope not.
You were last night.
So were you to Sorel.
Not proper. We talked it over.
I don't know what happened to me. I was in the garden with Simon, and he was being awfully sweet. And then he suddenly kissed me and ran into the house and said we were engaged. That hateful Judith asked me to make him happy.
That's exactly what happened with me and Sorel. Judith gave us to one another before we knew where we were.
How grateful!
I like Sorel, though. She was jolly decent about it afterwards.
I think she's a cat. Why? Look at the way she lost her temper over that beastly game.
All the same, she's better than the others.
That would be very difficult. I beg your pardon.
I say, I've got hiccups.
Hold your breath.
It was because I bolted my breakfast.
Hold it as long as you can. 1, 2.
I can't anymore.
Eat a lump of sugar.
I'm awfully sorry.
I don't mind, but it's a horrid feeling, isn't it?
Horrid.
People have died from hiccups, you know.
Have they?
Yes, an aunt of mine once had them for 3 days without stopping.
How beastly.
She had to have a doctor and everything.
I expect mine will stop soon.
I hope they will.
Damn.
Drink some water the wrong way around.
How do you mean the wrong way around?
The wrong side of the glass. I'll show you. There isn't any water.
Perhaps coffee would do as well?
I haven't tried coffee, but it might. There you are.
What do I do?
You tip it up and drink from the opposite side of the glass, sort of upside down.
I can't reach any.
Look out! Somebody's coming! Into the library, quick!
Bring the sugar! I might need it again.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Are we the first down?
No, I don't think so.
Isn't this rain miserable?
Appalling.
Where's the barometer?
Under the piano?
What a queer place for it to be.
typical of this house.
Are you having eggs and bacon or haddock?
Haddock.
I'll have haddock too. I simply couldn't strike out a line for myself this morning. Have you seen anyone?
No.
Good. We might have a little peace.
Have you ever stayed here before?
No, and I never will again.
I feel far from well this morning.
I'm so sorry, but not entirely surprised.
You see, I had the boiler room.
How terrible.
The window was stuck and it wouldn't open. I was nearly suffocated. The pipes made peculiar noises all night as well.
Hasn't any sugar.
Better ring for it.
I doubt it'll do the slightest good, but we'll try.
Do the whole family have breakfast in bed?
I neither know nor care.
They're strange people, aren't they?
I think strange is putting it mildly.
What's the matter?
There isn't any sugar.
Well, there is. I put it there myself.
Perhaps you'd find it for us then.
It's very strange.
I could have sworn on my Bible oath I brought it in. Well, it obviously isn't there now.
Somebody's taken it, that's what it is.
It seems like a queer thing to do.
Do you think you could get us some more?
Oh, yes. I'll fetch you some. But mark my words. There's been some hanky-panky somewhere.
Laura's really more at home in a dressing room than a house.
Was she Judith's dresser?
Of course. What other excuse could there possibly be for her?
She seems good-natured, but quaint.
This haddock's disgusting.
It isn't very nice, is it?
Here you are, dear.
Thank you.
It's a shame the weather's changed. We might have had such fun up the river. Oh, what was that? Come out! What are you doing?
Good morning. I'm afraid we have broken a coffee cup.
Was there any coffee in it?
Yes, a good deal.
Oh, dear. All over the carpet.
It was my fault. I'm awfully sorry.
How did you come to do it?
Well, he had the hiccups, so I was showing him how to drink upside down.
How ridiculous.
Well, thank heavens it wasn't one of the Crown Derbies.
They've gone now, anyhow.
It was a sudden shock, I suspect.
Mrs. Arundel,
Yes.
what are you going to do about today?
Nothing except go up to London by the first train possible.
Would you mind if I come too? I couldn't stand another day like yesterday.
Neither could I.
We should all go away. Quietly.
Won't it seem a bit rude if we all go?
Yes, it will. You and Miss CORYTON must stay.
I don't see why.
I don't think they'd mind very much.
Well, yes, they would, and you must let Mr. GREATHAM and me get away first anyhow. Ring for CLARA. I want to find out about trains.
I hope they don't all come down now.
You needn't worry about that. They're sure to roll about in bed for hours. They're such a slovenly family.
Have you got much packing to do?
No, I did most of it before I came down.
What is it now?
What can you tell us about trains to London?
When?
This morning.
What? You aren't leaving, are you?
Yes, Mr. GREATHAM and I have to be up by lunchtime.
Well, you've missed the 10:15.
Obviously.
There isn't another until 12:30.
Oh, good heavens.
And that's the slow one.
Look here. I'll take you up in my car as soon as you like.
All right, lovely. Oh, you have got a car, haven't you?
Yes?
Will it hold all of us?
You said it would be rude for us all to go. Hadn't you and Mr. GREATHAM better wait for the train?
Certainly not.
If there is room, we should be very, very grateful. I think I can squeeze you in.
And that's settled. When shall we start?
As soon as you like.
Mrs. Arundel, what are you going to do about taking Clara?
I don't know. What do you think?
I've hardly seen her since I've been here.
Isn't there a housemaid or anything?
No, I don't think so.
Is 10 bob enough?
Each? Too much.
We'd better make it £1.10 between us.
That sounds good. Will you do it and we'll settle up in the car?
Must I?
Yes, ring for her.
You'd do it much better.
No, I shouldn't. Come on, we'll finish our packing.
All right.
Here, don't leave me.
I'll just go and look at the car. Will you all be ready in 10 minutes?
Yes, 10 minutes.
Righto.
Hello. Where's everyone gone?
They've gone to get ready. We're leaving Mr. Tyrell's car.
It's a bit sudden, isn't it?
This is from all of us, Clara. Thank you for all your trouble.
Oh, aren't you a dear now? It wasn't any trouble.
There must have been a lot of extra work.
One gets used to that around here.
Good morning, Clara.
Good morning. I hope you're comfortable.
Come. Oh, yes.
Good morning, Clara.
Good morning.
Have the papers come?
Oh, yes, I'll fetch them for you. There you go.
Thank you. You've forgotten my orange juice?
Oh, no, I haven't, dear. It's just outside.
Good morning, darling.
Listen to this. We saw Judith Bliss and in a box at the Haymarket on Tuesday, looking as lovely as ever.
Oh.
There now. I thought I looked hideous on Tuesday.
You look sweet.
There you are, dear.
Oh, did you see that nice spit in the referee? No? Let me see.
I saw gay and colorful Judith Bliss at the Waifs and Strays matinee last week. She was chatting vivaciously with producer Basil Dean. Sooth, said I to myself, where ignorance is bliss, 'tis folly to be wise.
Oh, dear referee, it's so unself-conscious.
Well, if you need any more coffee, just ring for it.
I wish I were sitting on a lovely South Sea island with masses of palm trees and coconuts and turtles.
It would be divine, wouldn't it?
I wonder where everybody is.
I wonder. Mary Saunders has got another failure.
Surely she must be used to it by now.
Good morning, darling. Mwah. Look,
Oh, how lovely, Simon. When did you do it?
this morning I got up early.
Let me see.
Went to alter it. Helen's face is too pink.
It looks just like her.
Oh, what a clever son I have.
Oh, there now, Mother.
Oh, it's too much. When I think of you both in your perambulators, it makes me want to cry.
I don't believe you ever saw us in our perambulators.
I don't believe I did.
It's finished.
What is, dear?
The Sinful Woman.
Oh, how splendid. Read it to us.
The last chapter right here.
Go on, then.
Good morning.
I seem to know that boy's face.
Do you remember the bit where Violet was taken ill in Paris?
Yes, dear. Want to explain it?
I'll go on from there.
Do, dear.
Paris in spring. The Champs-Élysées alive and dancing in the sunlight. Lightly dressed children like gay painted butterflies.
What happened to the barometer?
I don't know.
Damn the barometer.
Don't be cross, dear.
Why can't you keep quiet, Simon, or go away?
Sorry, Father.
Well,
Arielle, don't interrupt me again. Gay painted butterflies. The streets were thronged with hurrying vehicles. The thin peek-peek of taxi hooters, I love peek-peek, seemed to blend together with all the other vivid noises to weave a vast pattern of sound, which was Paris.
What was Paris, dear?
Which was Paris?
What was Paris?
You can't say a vast pattern of sound, what was Paris?
Yes, but what was Paris?
A vast pattern of sound, which was Paris.
Oh, I see.
Jane Sefton, in her scarlet Hispano, swept out of the Rue Saint-Honoré and into the Place de la Concorde.
She couldn't have.
Why?
The Rue Saint-Honoré doesn't lead into the Place de la Concorde.
Yes, it does.
You're thinking of the Rue Boissy d'Anglais, Father.
I'm thinking no such thing.
Don't be obstinate, David.
Jane Sefton, in her scarlet Hispano, swept out of the Rue Saint-Honoré and into the Place de la Concorde.
That sounds ridiculous. Why don't you alter it?
It's not ridiculous. It's perfectly right.
Very well, then get me a map and I'll show you.
We haven't got a map.
Look here, Judith. Here's the Rue Royale. Here's the Crillon Hotel. And here's the Rue Saint-Honoré.
That isn't the Rue Saint-Honoré, it's the Boissy d'Anglais.
That runs parallel to the Rue de Rivoli.
You've got it all muddled.
I have not got it all muddled.
Don't shout.
Why not let Father get on with it?
You know, it's very silly to be cross at criticism. It indicates a small mind.
Small mind, my foot.
Oh, that was very rude. I shall go to my room in a minute.
Oh, I wish you would.
David!
Look here, Father. Mother's right. Here's the Place de la Concorde.
Oh, shut up, SOREL.
Shut up yourself, you pompous little beast.
You think you know such a lot about everything. You're as ignorant as a frog.
Why a frog?
I give you my solemn promise, David, that you're wrong.
I don't want your solemn promise because I know that I'm right.
It's no use arguing with Father, Mother,
Why isn't it any use arguing with Father?
because you're both so pig-headed.
Are you content to stand there, Judith, and let your son insult me?
He's your son as well as mine.
I begin to doubt it.
David!
I'll never read anything to any of you again as long as I live. You're not the least bit interested in my work, and you don't give a damn whether I'm a success or a failure.
Well, you're dead certain to be a failure if you cram your books with inaccuracies.
I am not inaccurate.
You are, and you're foul-tempered and spoiled.
Spoiled? I like that. No one in this house spoils me. You all are the most insufferable family to live with.
Well, then why don't you go and live somewhere else?
There's gratitude.
Gratitude? For what, I'd like to know.
Mother, do keep calm.
Calm. I'm furious.
Furious? What have you got to be furious about? Everybody rushing around, adoring you, saying how wonderful you are.
I am wonderful, heaven knows, to have stood you for all these years.
Mother, please do sit down and be quiet.
How dare you talk to your mother like that?
Oh, to think that my daughter should turn against me.
Oh, don't be theatrical.
I'm not theatrical. I'm wounded to the heart.
Rubbish. Rubbish. Rubbish.
Don't you say rubbish.
I will say rubbish. Look here, Judith.
Oh, certainly, be the dutiful daughter and tell your mother. It doesn't even matter.
You went to Paris, I tell you.
I was there on college trip. I went to London. There now.
They've all gone.
How very rude.
People really do behave in the most extraordinary manner these days.
Do come and finish your breakfast, Sorrel.
All right.
David, go on with the book. I'm dying to hear the end.
Jane Sefton, in her scarlet Hispano, swept out of the Rue Saint-Honoré and into the Place de la Concorde.
everybody. This was the last night of this particular show. You can see our virtual show, The Rivals, on dates that I don't remember because I'm tired. You can find them on the internet. Look up Globe Open Stage on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, other places. Not that hard to find. We're super glad you're here. Clearly you already know how to find us.